people come in the wine store and they say, I need a great Cabernet. I need a rich, buttery, oaky Chardonnay. So where do you keep your Chardonnays? Where do you keep your Cabernet? Where do you keep your Bordeaux blends? Love Bordeaux blends. Want to spend 20 bucks, 30 bucks. Is the California wines over here? How about Argentina? How about Chile? And I look at them and I go, how about Israel? You know, you turn your volume back up. You heard me. How about Israel? Hi, I'm Larry Baker. I'm a level 2 certified sommelier and senior wine and spirit specialist for ABC Fine Wine and Spirits here in Sunrise, Florida. Every one of my predictions has come true over the past 15 years. Maybe you don't know about it yet, but they're true. I predicted about 25 years ago that Washington State would surpass California, Napa Valley, as far as quality to price ratio, and they have, and more people are seeking out those Washington State wines, less overripe style, better quality to price ratio. I predicted that Oregon would be the most popular place for Pinot Noirs and Pinot Gris, and more people are asking for Oregon only Pinot Noirs because they share the same parallel with Burgundy, France. And the prediction that I made that still yet hasn't come true, but it will, in my personal opinion, okay, is that the new Napa Valley, the new wine place, the new hotspot that everybody should have on their wine list, it's going to replace Napa Valley one day as big as Washington State. I'm still waiting for Washington State to replace a bulk of the Napa Valley, but it's going to take a chunk out, and that is Israel. I've been saying that, Israel. And people say, well, I'm not Jewish. I happen to be Jewish, but do you know even kosher wine? Kosher wine, what does kosher wine mean? Kosher wine means that it's under rabbinical supervision, that all the ingredient that has to be cleaned and rabbi says sanitized, and all the ingredients used in the wine must be certified kosher. And then they have something called mavushal. Years ago, mavushal, M-E-V-U-S-H-A-L, that meant that they were boiling the wine, and just like pasteurization in a juice, a carrot juice or something like that, it took away a lot of the flavor. Today, mavushal, it's a little bit more stricter, and some people seek those out who have really looking for kosher wine, but it's more of a flash pasteurization that doesn't affect the quality of the wine. But be that as it may, there's also a predetermination that everything that's kosher only comes from Israel. I don't want Israel. I'm not Jewish. I don't want Israeli wine. No, kosher wines can be made, and they are. Even Chateau Lafite makes a kosher version, certified kosher version of their wine. They can come from Argentina. There we have kosher wines that are sweet and sparkling from upstate New York, from Italy. Italy makes kosher wine. Every country in the world produces kosher wine. But I'm just not talking about the kosher. These wines happen to be kosher. I'm talking about Israel. Israel. So, first wine I want to show you that I'm very proud that we have here at ABC that you don't see in a lot of places. It's the Tepperberg family. Tepperberg, this is the impressions. Yes, there's a lot of Hebrew writing here, but this goes back literally decades and decades, hundreds and hundreds of years. This is the 5th generation, the Tepperberg family. They do a buttery, you know, rich with vanilla, just balanced. If you like that type of Napa Valley Chardonnay, this will be a little bit more restrained on the oak, but in $18.99, yes, that is the price that you pay for a lot of California Chardonnays that don't have the quality of this. It's just a delicious, rich, buttery Chardonnay if you like that style. Is it Burgundy style? No. But is it more restrained than California with the vanilla and the oak and that lactic taste? Yes, it's just a really solid Chardonnay, and you wouldn't think when you say, where is your Chardonnay section, you're going to every country, but the last one you should that you're thinking about, you should think about, which is Israel. Cabernet Sauvignon, or Haganes. Or Haganes is the name of the winery, and all that translates to is that this is a bunch of vineyards that over the years were studied and researched in just a little north of Galilee, in that area, where they tested vineyards for their terroir about 800 feet above sea level, And now they make wines, and this is Marome, which is a single vineyard Cabernet Sauvignon. I think it's something like 90% solid Cabernet Sauvignon. Single vineyard from one of the best producers that I've tasted, and from a terroir that is very similar, that has better than, you know how mountain fruit is so great in California because of the drainage and the soil, the temperature conditions. If you think about Israel, you know, desert like Napa Valley, you know, a lot of mountain inclines, a lot of steep hills, and that produces this really good fruit. This is just a gorgeous Cabernet Sauvignon, $29.99 here, Israel. So maybe next time you come in and ask for a Cabernet Sauvignon, I want a big bold Cabernet, maybe you ought to go over to Israel, or in our case, it happens to be in the kosher wine section. My dream is to see an entire section in the store that says Israel, because we've just touched the surface. Now, I want to end this little Israel selection, because we don't have a lot of them, but what we do have is really great, especially special to us. You can buy those, you know, California ones you see in the supermarkets that are kosher if you need kosher. But again, we're not talking about kosher wines here. They just happen to be kosher. The Tepperberg is mavushal. The other two are not. They are kosher for Passover. But we're really focusing on the fact that Israel makes great wine, especially the reds. There is a winery called Domaine du Castel. And Domaine du Castel has been known to be called the Chateau Lafite of Israel. They really are, and it's not a cheap product. It's an $80 retail, $90 retail product, and it's always a blend of Cabernet, Bordeaux blend of Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and Petit Verdot, one of my favorites. And restaurant menus, you're talking about 200 bucks. You know, anywhere from one, yes, for an Israeli Bordeaux blend. But the Petit Castel, this is the 2014 from Domaine de Castel. It's kind of, you can reach out, because you know you're paying at least double for some of these Napa Valley Cabernets, or these Bordeaux blends, or these Meritages, which you can call this a Meritage if you like, because it is 3 grapes and they're all Bordeaux varietal. The Petit Castel is just a baby version of the Domaine de Castel. Off the charts, the 2014, especially the Petit Verdot. I have tasted this wine personally. Robert Parker has rated this wine 90 points because he's tasted this wine. It always gets high up there and amongst the community that drinks Israeli wine, Domaine de Castel. I can't tell you how many bottles I give this. You want to go over to somebody's house, I don't care if it's Latin or if they're Italian, they're cooking some kind of steak, or you just want to bring over a great wine, impress them that the last place they would be looking in a store is for Israeli wine. But you can't get any finer than it. Price point on this, yes, $48.99, but I'm looking behind me at a bunch of Napa Valley that's in the $70s and $80 bottle. So this will put this to shame. It's unfined, it's unfiltered, it's just as good of a Bordeaux blend that I've had from Washington State at double the price. Great wine, Domaine de Castel, 14.5% alcohol, full-bodied, rich, unfined, unfiltered, and just layered and layered with structures of wine. So more information on these wines, I believe you can find them out and find this information out by looking either at the winery website, like look up Domaine de Castel and see all the hoopla, look up Tepperberg, look up Or Haganas. These are all rated wines by publications, Parker, Wine Spectator, Rator, Haganas, and things like that in Tepperberg. But also go to our website at abcfws.com, and you can follow me, which apparently I want to say I'm very honored. Thank you, Joey Cascow, the winestalker.net or .com. I'm not sure if it's .net or .com, but the Winestalker, S-T-A-L-K-E-R. He comes out with a list all the time, and he asked me to submit. I am considered like one of the top 10 wine bloggers, and that's thanks to you and also the people on Twitter and social media, and I wanted to announce that. But you can also follow my blog as well, because he recommended you follow and read my stuff and the reasoning behind it by putting your name and email address on there. So Next time you go into a store, you want Cabernets, you want Merlots, you want Chardonnay, rich buttery Chardonnay. Stop thinking about Napa. Maybe stop thinking about Chile, Argentina. Think about Israel. The prediction is out. I'm telling you that Israel is the new wine country, at least for me. When I worked in restaurants, I put Israeli wines on the menu because they belong on everybody's wine list. Until I see you again next time, remember, that's what this blog is about. Wine is not for snobs. It's for everyday people like you and me. L'chaim.